So have you received it or not?
No, I have not received.
Oh, okay. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning, Judge.
Thank you, Mr. Walker. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning, Judge. Speak at one time, huh, Judge?
Y'all make me feel like I'm here by myself.
Good morning, Judge Morrow.
Good morning. How are you doing today?
Good, and yourself?
I cannot complain. Thank you for asking.
Welcome. We're gonna start off with position 16 and 17. That's Mr. Howard.
Good morning, Mr. Howard.
Yes, sir. Good morning, Mr. Morrow. How you doing?
I'm doing well. Mr. Derek Howard, good morning.
Good morning, Judge.
We have not received any from the PD's office. We normally get a list of what you all are intending to do.
I guess I sent it to Miss Grace and Mr. Jordan, which was on the calendar. We should have sent it to someone else.
Yes,
Ms. Lewis, I sent you an email, Mr. Howard.
Okay, that's why you didn't get it. I can.
Yeah, and anytime in the future, send them all to the litigation manager, because sometimes we switch up, like today.
Okay, all right. So I'll forward it over.
all right, thank you. Okay, and what are we doing? We're gonna do with Rondi Howard this morning?
Yes, this is gonna be a bond here.
Okay, and an arraignment?
Yes, Judge.
Okay. Good morning, Mr. Howard. I am Judge Eric Morrow. This is the state all-purpose calendar that we're conducting by video to help prevent the spread of the virus. Do you agree to have your case heard by video?
Yes, sir.
Can you raise your right hand for me? Do you swear affirm the testimony you're about to give before this court to be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, sir.
Okay, you can put your hand down. Thank you. Mr. Howard, you've been charged in case 22 CR 004235E with battery. This charge carries a maximum penalty of 12 months in jail and or $1,000 fine. Do you waive formal reading of the accusation? Mr. Howard,
Yeah, yes, Judge. We went over it.
how do you plead, Mr. Howard, Rondi Howard, guilty or not guilty?
Not guilty.
We will record your not guilty plea. Your case will be returned to the division judge and you'll get notification of your next hearing date. Do we have his bond? Okay, let me see. Ms. Harris, probation, good morning. How are you today?
Good morning, Arnold. How you doing?
Oh, good, good. I'm sorry, Ms. Harris. I didn't mean to. I'll get to you later. Who do we have up? Who do we have up from pretrial? Oh.
Huggins, good morning.
Good morning, Ms. Huggins. Does Mr. Howard have a history?
Yes, give me 1 second. It is, he has about 10 cycles, Your Honor. And from what we see, it looks like he is on probation for possession of a firearm or knife during the commission of or attempt to commit certain felonies out of Fayette County. The disposition date on that was 5/13/2019, 5 years probation. And he has FTA looks like in 2007 and a NOLO for marijuana possession in 2010 out of College Park. He was given probation for that, and he has driving while license suspended or revoked, 6 months probation, 6 months confinement, and fleeing or attempting to elude police officer, willful obstruction of law enforcement officer. Although 3 of those are out of 9/26/2012 out of Fayetteville.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Hudgens. Did he miss a court date?
He did, Your Honor, August arraignment in front of Judge Morrison, so we would just ask that you do what you routinely do and send it back to Judge Morrison to be heard on the bench warrant.
Okay, and Mr. Howard, that is normally what I do, in regards to when another judge, a division judge sets a bond after missing their court. I generally send it back to the division judge to, modify that bond if they choose to.
And Judge, I guess I understand the court's position. However, I would ask the court to consider amending the FTA on this, only in respect of changing it from a cash bond to a bond that he can make to a bonding company. He does have a $7,000 bond on the initial charge. And there's just a lot of, there will be a factual dispute in this case, Judge. I spoke with his father, who was a witness to this incident, and he was very clear that the alleged victim in this case was the aggressor, and then later went and called the police to try and have him arrested because they've broken up and things of that nature, Judge. So there are a lot of factual things that we'll be able to deal with at a later time. But we would ask the court just for the consideration of converting this to a 10% bond. He's a lifelong Georgia resident who's born and raised here in the Metro Atlanta area. He's 33 years old. He lost his job at Luxottica as a result of this arrest. They have a point system, so once he missed several days at work, he lost that job. He was, doing well driving equipment for them. He does have a minor child, a 13-year-old boy that lives with him, that he supports as well. And once he was made aware, Judge, that he had a warrant, he is here because he turned himself in. It wasn't a situation where someone ran his name. He was told he had a warrant. He came and turned himself in. So he's not trying to avoid dealing with this charge. And so we would ask the court to take all that into account. And we're just asking that the 5,000 cash be converted to a 5,000 surety so that his family can have an opportunity to bond him out, because they have a lot of evidence that they want to present that we believe will turn, how this case ultimately is resolved. So we would ask the court for that.
Okay, I appreciate that, but I'm not gonna change what I normally do in regards to these cases being returned to the division judge. So you can make your argument in front of Judge Morrison at the next available opportunity. Good luck to you, Mr. Rondi Howard.
Thank you, Judge.
Position 20, Mr. Penn.
And this is gonna be a negotiated plea?
It is, Judge, and if we may need to return him, have him have a seat, Judge. He may want to, in light of the court ruling, he's had a change of heart maybe in what he wants to do. So we come back to him in a little bit.
Oh, okay, that's fine with me.
I go have a seat with you. Coming up, Mr.
Good morning, Mr. Penn. I'm Judge Eric Morrow. This is good morning, sir. This is the state all-purpose calendar that we're conducting by video. Do you agree to have your case heard by video?
Yes, sir.
Can you raise your right hand for me? Do you swear affirm the testimony you're about to give before this court be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, sir.
Okay, you can put your hand down. Let's see, Mr. Rogers, are you presenting in this matter?
Yes, Your Honor, I am.
Okay, have you been before me before?
No, I don't believe so.
Okay, good morning, welcome.
Good morning. Pleasure to meet you.
You also, you can proceed.
Your Honor, this will be a negotiated plea. The conditions of the plea will be 12 months to serve 30 days, balanced probated, stay away order from the two victims. Their names are Tony Johnson, common spelling, and Isaac McQuiller, McQuiller, and also 6 weeks of anger management. That's all from the state.
Okay. Mr. Howard?
Judge, Mr. Walker, I don't know if he's at, and I just sent him a message to see if he might consider just a slight amendment in the recommendation. Mr. Walker, I don't know if you're able to do that, but Mr. Penn has been in custody 58 days on this. And if you get my message, are you able to consider that?
I didn't see your message, but you can state your question, I guess.
I guess I would ask if you'd be willing to change this to serve 90 days balance suspended in this instance, as opposed to 30 days balance probated.
We were asking for probation, correct?
You asked for probation to do six.
Anger management. And anger management,
Right,
right? So no, we wouldn't be willing to get rid of the anger management. If it's an issue of jail time,
right. Your sentence was 30 days with the probation, but since he's done essentially what would be 90 days, the additional jail time, I would ask that be taken in lieu of. You wouldn't.
you could do a non-negotiated
Okay.
plea.
Right. So Judge, I guess, and only on that issue, Judge, we'd ask, it will be non-negotiated. Otherwise, Mr. Penn is in agreement with the merits of the charge. He's willing to accept responsibility and enter a plea on this charge today. However, we would ask that, given the fact he's been in custody for a significant amount of time for a charge in which clearly there was an allegation that there was someone else fighting as well. It wasn't determined that he was an aggressor, or else he would have been charged and maybe not the other party. But we would ask the court to take all of that into account and send him to 12 months, serve 90 days with the balance suspended so that he can go on, and he needs to get reconnected with some things on the outside to try to get his life back on track, and not having probation would be something that would allow him to do that more readily. So we would ask the court to consider 90 days balance suspended.
How many days has he served?
58 days, Judge.
58, and he has only been in custody on this affray charge?
That's correct, Judge.
He's been in jail for the FTA for 58 days.
Yeah, the FTA for the afraid charge.
All right. Anything further, Mr. Rogers?
Your Honor, the defendant has 45 cycles. He has several, 45 cycles. It has various charges from criminal trespass to shoplifting to some simple batteries. In this situation, he was fighting. That's why the state recommended the anger management to an attempt to help the defendant if he in fact finds himself in a position again, so he can make better choices and won't end up in the same situation again.
What were the facts of the incident?
On August 25th of 2021, officers were dispatched to the Midtown Mortar Station in regards to a fight on the Peachtree Place side of the station. Upon arrival, the officer observed a small group of people congregating on the side of the station, along with one individual leading from his right hand. He made contact with that individual and identified him as Mr. Penn. He later viewed CCTV video, which showed Penn engaging in a physical altercation with Mr. Johnson and Mr. McQuellar on the Peachtree Place side of the station.
Okay. Is he, that's a MARTA station, is that right?
Yes, that's correct.
And does MARTA have at this point in time, do you know if they have an active suspension?
I'm not aware, Your Honor.
Okay. Anything further, counsel?
Nothing further, Judge.
Mr. Penn, it's my understanding that in case 22 CR 0000127J, you wish to plead guilty to affray, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Are you under the influence of any drugs or alcohol this morning?
No, sir.
You've been represented by counsel. Are you satisfied with your counsel's representation?
Yes, sir.
You understand that you have a right to a trial by jury on this charge, and that by pleading guilty to it, you're giving up your right to a trial by jury?
Yes, sir.
Has anyone forced or coerced you to plead guilty?
No, sir.
All right, I'll accept your plea, Mr. Penn. The sentence is going to be 12 months to serve 90 days, credit for time served 58 days, balance suspended, stay away from Tony Johnson and Isaac McQuillar, and that'll be it. Good luck to you, Mr. Penn.
Thank you.
Who do we have next?
Position 22, Mr. Price.
What they gonna do with position number 21?
Mr. Rogers, and Mr. Howard, back to, you're going to non-cross the FTA on Mr. Penn.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, can you get that non-cross to Ms. Lewis, Mr. Rogers, please? When you
Yeah.
get an opportunity?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you. Tell me again where we are.
This is position 22, Mr. Price.
Okay, thank you. I apologize.
Oh, you're good.
And this is a negotiated plea.
Yes, Judge.
Good morning, Mr. Price. I'm Judge Eric Morrow. This is the state all-purpose calendar that we're conducting by video. Do you agree to have your case heard by video?
Yes.
Thank you. Can you raise your right hand for me? Do you swear affirm the testimony you're about to give before this court be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Okay, you can put your hand down. Thank you, Mr. Price. Mr. Rogers?
Yes, Your Honor. It'll be 12 months to serve 30 days, balance probated, anger management for 6 weeks, and a stay away order from the victim in this matter also. The victim's name is Tanya Harris, first name Tonia, last name Harris, common spelling.
Any objection to the probation going non-reporting when he completes the terms?
No, no objection.
Mr. Howard?
Yes, Judge, we ask that the court accept that plea as negotiated. We would ask that the probation fees be waived, given his financial status, but otherwise we accept the plea as negotiated.
Okay. Mr. Price, it's my understanding that in case 23 CR 000044D, you wish to plead guilty to simple battery. Is that correct?
Yes.
Are you under the influence of any drugs or alcohol this morning?
No.
You've been represented by counsel. Are you satisfied with your counsel's representation?
Yes.
You understand that you have a right to a trial by jury on this charge, and not by pleading guilty to it. You're giving up your right to a trial by jury?
Yes.
Has anyone forced or coerced you to plead guilty?
Yes.
They have? Has
No.
all right. I'll accept the plea as negotiated, Mr. Price. I am going to waive the probation fees for you while you're on probation to help you get and stay on your feet. And when you complete the terms, it'll go to a non-reporting status, okay?
Thank you, sir.
All right, good luck to you, sir.
Position 23 and 24, Mr. Riviere.
Good morning, Your Honor. How you doing?
I'm doing well, Mr. Riviera. How are you?
All right.
Good. I'm Judge Eric Morrow. This is the state all-purpose calendar that we're conducting by video to help prevent the spread of the virus. Do you agree to have your case heard by video?
Thank you, Your Honor.
Does he need to be arraigned, or has he already been arraigned?
Judge, on the, I believe it may need to be an arraignment.
Okay. Can you raise your right hand for me, Mr. Riviera? Do you swear from the testimony you're about to give before this court be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Okay, you can put your hand down. Mr. Riviera, you've been charged in case 22 CR 000991J with driving while your license was suspended or revoked, willful obstruction of a law enforcement officer. And it looks like another count of driving while your license was suspended or revoked. And you've also been charged in case 23 FTA 000006 with failure to appear. Each of these charges carries with it a maximum penalty of 12 months in jail and or $1,000 fine. Do you wait for a reading of the accusations, Mr. Howard?
Yes, Judge, we went over.
How do you plead, Mr. Riviera? Guilty or not guilty?
Not guilty on all charges, Your Honor.
Okay, I will record the not guilty pleas. Your case will be returned to the division judge, and you'll get notification of your next hearing date. Whose court did he miss court with? Do you know, Mr. Rogers?
No, Your Honor, I don't have that information.
Judge, it was Judge Besson, court judge.
I never received any court notices either, Your Honor.
And Judge Wright, we would like to ask the court to consider amending the FTA to act in his case. We'd ask the court to consider a signature bond. He does have another matter that he'll have to deal with before he's released. However, Mr. Rivera, in case he didn't receive notice of this court date, there's been some significant issues with notice and things related to this case in general. Judge, I spoke with his mother, who I believe she may be on the Zoom. She had a lot of documentation that she wanted to provide. I told her we couldn't obviously sort that out today, but it appears that the charge in and of itself resulted from a problem with the place that he bought the car from, not properly notifying when a car is sold. And they had documentation, and they've gone to DMV and went through a lot of steps to try to get that sorted out. And as a result, he's been picked up a few times in relation to this, which caused quite a bit of frustration for him. But he has every intention of answering the charges, Judge. He's not trying to abscond or in any way trying not to resolve this issue. In speaking with his mother and him, he just indicated he didn't get notice. It was reset for, I think that he was supposed to be on in January. He came on the SAP calendar, and he was given a court date, January the 5th, to show up. And his mother came down with the documentation to room G33. And it turns out that that was not the proper date. And I believe it was 10th, or it may have been the actual date that he should have been there. But the notice that she told me she would bring and show indicated he needed to be there on the 5th. So it's that type of thing that's sort of been going on back and forth with him, Judge. We would ask the court to consider converting the $1,000 FTA to a signature bond. We are aware he missed the court date in June, and I believe there was a September court date in Judge Betson that he missed with the same issue. He says he never got noticed, and so we would ask the court to consider that.
I even went to the court myself, Your Honor, and went down to the municipal court, got all my cases compiled. They told me they would send me the notice in the mail. The paper that I got was for the 5th. I had every intention on coming because I paid all my fines to have my license reinstated, took the reinstatement letter down to the DMV and everything, only to still be arrested for the same thing that I paid a lot of money to get myself out of, Your Honor. I had no intention of missing my court date.
Okay, and it's also my understanding that Mr. Riviera's mother is in the courtroom with me. She does have some documentation regarding this matter. Mr. Walker,
I'm here.
do you have any objection to a signature bond in this matter and letting Mr. Riviera come back on these traffic charges at a later time?
Yeah, that's fine, Your Honor.
Okay, all right, so we'll convert the bond to a signature bond. Let's make sure that we have Mr. Riviera's proper address so that he doesn't miss any more court dates and we don't have to go through this again, okay?
Yes, Judge, we did verify that it's correct now.
All right, so all right, so
That's all we needed to address on these two, Judge.
okay, and do we need to do something with the failure to appear, position 24?
Would I need to, the state is there either non-profit or I need to do a SOB jail on it?
You can do the SOB jail.
Okay, so I just want to make sure that he gets out. I didn't want to leave that one hanging. So so if you'll prepare a signature bond through the jail on both of these for me, Mr. Howard.
Thank you, Judge. And actually, on the first one, he's not being held on that. So Ms. Lewis, is it fine, since it's not on his booking screen at all, I don't need to do anything with that case, correct?
No, you need to do the SOB on the FTA. The
Okay.
order needs to have the FTA number and everything on there, not the case. You can put the case number as associate, but the FTA needs the number on there.
Okay, all right.
Okay, and he doesn't have anything else holding him, does he, Mr.
He
Howard?
does have another matter, Judge, he's got to deal with before he leaves. Yes,
Say it again?
he does have another matter that he needs to handle before he leaves in Superior Court.
Okay, all right. So, ma'am, as far as this goes, he's gonna be released on a signature bond. Apparently, he does have something else that's gonna be holding him, but as far as these charges, he is getting a signature bond, okay?
Thank you so much. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Who do you have with you? Who do you have with you?
That's my grandson.
What's-
Yeah, my grandson. He's really close to him, and so he's been worried about him, but thank you so much.
You're welcome. Yeah, okay, y'all,
Thank you.
all
Thank you
right.
so much.
Y'all have a good day.
Together.
Okay,
Thank you.
all right. Okay, anything further for Mr. Riviera?
Nothing further, Judge.
All right, good luck to you, sir.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Position 26, Mr. Sims.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning. Let's see. I have on my calendar, I have a 25, and then I have a 27 and a 28. I don't have a 26. And
That's my fault, Your Honor. I accidentally erased 26 from the calendar, but Mr. Rogers has the offer.
okay, so I'm just trying to figure out, and this is Mr. Sims?
Yes, Judge, position 26, Mr. Barry Sims.
Okay. Tell me the name again. I've got 27 and 28 are both Sims also. So tell me,
It's a
who
different Sims.
It's Barry Sims, Judge,
Sims, S-I-M-S, Barry, B-A-R-R-Y,
and it's two M's, Judge, SIMMS.
S-I-M-M-S. And what is the case number? What's he charged with?
It's 21 CR 007-698A. And he's charged with simple battery, family violence, and
Okay.
possession and use of drug-related objects.
Okay, all right, thank you. And this is going to be a negotiated plea.
Yes, Judge.
Good morning, Mr. Sims. I'm Judge Eric Morrow. This is the state all-purpose calendar that we're conducting by video. Do you agree to have your case heard by video?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Can you raise your right hand for me? Do you swear to affirm the testimony you're about to give before this court be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Okay, you can put your hands down. Thank you. Yes, Mr. Rogers.
Yes, Your Honor, it'll be 12 months to serve 50 days, balance probated, stay away order from 345 Fairmont Way. No further violent contact with Edith Sims. Mental health evaluation, comply with all mental health orders, and FVIP, family violence prevention class.
Mr. Howard?
Yes, Judge, and Ms. We would ask for the court to consider, or the state even, the stay away. We understand with no further violent contact. The victim in the case is his wife, who has been, they obviously live together. They've been married for 38 years. So Judge, they obviously need to live together. So there's no further violent contact. We just ask that there not be a stay away, that he be allowed to return home. But otherwise, we're in agreement with the terms as set out by the state. And I believe the state is willing to merge the possession of drug-related objects with null prospect charge, Judge, is what I'm hearing.
We'll null process drug-related object charge.
Okay, and is there an objection or has someone spoken to the wife?
I'm checking right now. Let's see. That's fine. We can leave it at no further violent contact and drop the stay away.
All
And
right. Thank you, Mr. Walker. Okay? Anything further, Mr. Howard?
Nothing further, Judge. We would ask that the probation fees be waived. He does receive a monthly amount for disability, so we would ask that those fees be waived and that his probation be allowed to terminate upon completion or non-reported upon the completion of the requirements and conditions.
Any objection to termination, Mr. Rogers?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Sims, it's my understanding that in case 21 CR 007698A, you wish to plead guilty to simple battery family violence. Is that correct?
That is correct, sir.
Are you under the influence of any drugs or alcohol this morning?
No, I am not.
You've been represented by counsel. Are you satisfied with his representation?
Very much so.
You understand that you have a right to a trial by jury on this charge, and that by pleading guilty to it, you're giving up your right to a trial by jury?
I do.
Has anyone forced or coerced you to plead guilty?
No, sir.
I will accept the plea as negotiated. Mr. Sims, I am going to waive the probation fees for you to help you get and stay on your feet. And when you complete the terms, the probation will terminate, okay?
Yes, and if I may ask, I have some
medical challenges I need to take care of in the morning. I have not passed in the past week, and my urine is not coming out.
Okay, well, I hate to hear that, Mr. Sims, but if you don't have anything holding you, you'll be released from custody as soon as the judge, as the jail can process you out, okay?
I thank you, sir.
All right, good luck to you, sir.
Thank you.
Position 27 and 28, this is Antoine Sims.
And these are negotiated, please.
Yes, Judge.
Good morning, Mr. Sims. I'm Judge Eric Morrow. This is the state all-purpose calendar that we're conducting by video. Do you agree to have your case heard by video?
Yes, sir, I do.
Thank you. Can you raise your right hand for me? Do you swear affirm the testimony you're about to give before this court be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, sir.
Okay, you can put your hand down. Thank you. Mr. Rogers.
For position 27, it'll be 12 months, sentenced to 10 days with the balance suspended. And for position 28. Would it be Mr. Walker?
I think I have 28, Your Honor. Position 28 is gonna be time served, maintain compliant with any MARTA suspension. Actually, the suspension just ended the 12th, so it was just time served of 17 days, I believe.
I believe it's 14.
Okay, for time served 14 days.
Okay,
And Judge, and Mr. Walker, on position 27, if we could just amend that, because I'm assuming the intent was for it to be time served, amended to 6 days, because he's only served 3 days in custody on that particular case.
That's fine.
All right. So
okay.
instead of 10 days, it'd be 6 days on position 27, Judge.
6 days credit for time served. How much?
3 days.
3 days. Okay. Anything further before we take the plea?
Judge, we'd ask that the probation fees be waived and that probation terminated upon completion of the requirements and conditions.
He's not on probation, is he?
On, I think on,
No, he's not on probation.
okay, no, I take that back, Judge. Then we don't need to deal with that. I thought there was a condition on there that we had to complete, but that's fine, Judge.
Okay, all right. Mr. Sims, it's my understanding that in case 22 CR 007049Y, you wish to plead guilty to criminal trespass and certain acts on a bus, rail station prohibited. And in case 23 CR 000047Y, you wish to plead guilty to criminal trespass and fare evasion. Is that correct?
Yes, sir, I do.
Are you under the influence of any drugs or alcohol this morning?
No, sir, I'm not.
You've been represented by counsel. Are you satisfied with your counsel's representation?
Yes, sir, I am.
Now, you understand that you have a right to a trial by jury on these charges and that by pleading guilty to them, you're giving up your right to a trial by jury?
Yes, sir, I do.
Has anyone forced or coerced you to plead guilty?
No, sir.
I will accept the pleas as negotiated. Mr. Sims, good luck to you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome.
Cameron.
Mr. Howard,
Yes.
back to the previous Mr. Sims.
Yeah.
How much, Ms. Lewis is wondering how much time he was given credit for.
He should be given credit for 40 days, Judge.
Okay, yes.
It says 28 on one and 12 on the other book, so 40 days.
Okay. And who do we have?
Fellas, can y'all stop talking in the courtroom?
That's McLean.
Oh, this is.
This is gonna be position 5, Mr. Cameron.
Okay. This is a negotiated plea.
It is, Your Honor. Good morning.
Yes, good morning, Mr. McLean. Let's see, Mr. Cameron, good morning. I'm Judge Eric Morrow. This is the state all-purpose calendar that we're conducting by video. Do you agree to have your case heard by video?
Yes, I do.
Thank you. Can you raise your right hand for me?
Yeah.
Do you swear affirm the testimony you're about to give before this court be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, I do.
Okay, you can put your hands down, Mr. Cameron. Thank you. Mr. Rosenberg, good morning. Is this your case?
Good morning, Your Honor. It is.
Okay, have you been before me before?
I don't believe I have.
Okay, welcome. Nice to meet you.
Thank you. It's good to meet you.
All right, you can proceed.
Okay. Your Honor, this is a case against Demetrius Cameron. Mr. Cameron entered a BP gas station at 2021 Cleveland Avenue in Atlanta. After receiving multiple warnings not to do so, he was charged with criminal trespass. State's recommendation is 12 months to serve, 10 days, credit for time served, balance suspended, stay away from the BP gas station located at the 2021 Cleveland Ave.
Okay. Mr. McLean?
And very good to see you, Mr. Rosenberg.
Good to see you, Mike.
Your Honor, fairly straightforward. Time served, balance suspended, stay away. We discussed it and he agrees.
Okay. Mr. Cameron, it's my understanding that in case 23 CR 000030B, you wish to plead guilty to criminal trespass. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Are you under the influence of any drugs or alcohol this morning?
No, I ain't.
You've been represented by counsel. Are you satisfied with his representation?
I-
You understand that you have a right to a trial by jury on this charge, and that by pleading guilty to it, you're giving up your right to a trial by jury?
I do.
Has anybody forced you to plead guilty?
No, I haven't.
I'll accept the plea as negotiated, Mr. Cameron. Good luck to you, sir.
Thank you.
Position 15, Mr. Hankins.
Your Honor, in the meantime, positions, I believe 15 and one other turned into negotiated pleas because they were able to be interviewed. They were not able to be interviewed yesterday.
Okay, so Mr. Hankins is a negotiated plea?
It is.
All right. Good morning, Mr. Hankins. I'm Judge Eric Morrow. This is the state all-purpose calendar that we are conducting by video. Do you agree to have your case heard by video?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Can you raise your right hand for me? Do you swear to affirm the testimony you're about to give before this court will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. Ms. Lewis, good morning.
Good morning, Your Honor.
You can proceed.
Your Honor, this is going to be 12 months to serve 30 days, credit for time served, the balance probated, no alcohol, drugs, or weapons, and restitution.
How much is the restitution?
1 moment, sir. Give me 1 second while I check on that, Your Honor.
Okay.
Yeah, you can go ahead and I'll let you know before we finish the plea if there's any restitution.
Okay. Anything further, Mr. McLean? Yeah, you're muted, courtroom too.
No, he wishes the court to accept his negotiated plea, and so he can get on that.
And we'll just take the restitution off, Your Honor.
Okay.
Probably turn that into what, suspended?
So it's 12 months to serve, 30 days, credit for how much time served?
58 days, Your Honor.
58 days. Okay, and balance suspended, is that right?
We have it balance probated.
Well,
Suspended will be fine.
say it again, Mr. Walker.
Suspended will be fine. Suspended will be fine.
Okay, thank you. All right. Anything further? Do we have over that correct, Mr. McLean?
Yes, Your Honor, we do.
All right. Mr. Hankins, it's my understanding that in case 20 CR 001898E, you wish to plead guilty to striking an unattended vehicle, 2 counts, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Are you under the influence of any drugs or alcohol this morning?
No, sir.
You've been represented by counsel. Are you satisfied with your counsel's representation?
Yes, sir.
You understand that you have a right to a trial by jury on these charges, and that by pleading guilty to them, you're giving up your right to a trial by jury?
I do, sir.
Has anyone forced or coerced you to plead guilty?
No, sir.
I'll accept the plea as negotiated, Mr. Hankins. Good luck to you, sir.
Position 4, Mr. Bradbury.
Maureen, Ms. McLeod is on trial today. It's my understanding, given that, is this a time served plea? Who's presenting for Mr. Bradbury? From the state?
Your Honor, sorry about that. It's me. I was just pulling up, looking at something else.
Okay, you're
Yeah, that is, I believe, let me just take a look how long they've been in jail. We're recommending 12 months to serve, 15 days credit for time served. I'm gonna assume that is time served.
okay. Ms. McLeod is in, as I said, Ms. McLeod is in trial. It's my understanding this morning, this matter is going to have to be reset until, I'm gonna reset it for Thursday, which is the 19th. Okay. Mr. Bradbury. Is Mr. Bradbury still with us? And I don't know if he was on the jail court's iPhone or at 4 North, but his case is going to be reset until 1:19 on Thursday. We'll see him back then. Who do we have next?
Next, Your Honor, we have position number 12, Mr. Ellis, position number 12.
Okay, and this is going to be a negotiated plea.
Yes, Your Honor, that's negotiated plea.
Okay, very good. Good morning, Mr. Ellis. I'm Judge Eric Morrow. This is the state all-purpose calendar that we're conducting by video. Do you agree to have your case heard by video?
Yes, sir.
Okay, can you raise your right hand for me? Do you swear affirm the testimony you're about to give before this court will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Okay, you can put your hand down. Let's see. Is this your case, Ms. Lewis?
Yes, Your Honor.
I know you did the last one. Have you appeared before me before?
No, sir, I have not.
Yeah, welcome.
Thank you.
Good to have you here. Mr. Walker? You with me?
I'm here, Your Honor. I'm sorry.
Do me a favor, in the future, when you come on a little bit early and you have new people, would you introduce them to me so that I know who I'm going to be working with?
Yes,
Okay.
Your Honor. My apologies.
No, it's not a problem. I just want to welcome them if it's their first time here. Okay.
Yes, thank you.
All right. Thank you. You can proceed, Ms. Lewis.
Yes, Your Honor. For this case, we recommend 12 months to serve, 8 days. Credit for time served, 14 days. The balance suspended. The defendant is also to stay away from 175 Piedmont Avenue and no alcohol, drugs, or weapons.
Mr. McLean.
We stipulate to the 3 necessary elements, Your Honor, and that is, those are the terms we expected to hear. Ask the court to accept them.
Okay. Mr. Ellis, it's my understanding that in case 23 CR 000053B, you wish to plead guilty to criminal trespass and willful obstruction of law enforcement officers. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Are you under the influence of any drugs or alcohol this morning?
No, sir.
You've been represented by counsel. Are you satisfied with your counsel's representation?
Yes, sir.
You understand that you have a right to a trial by jury on these charges, and that by pleading guilty to them, you're giving up your right to a trial by jury?
Yes, sir.
Has anyone forced or coerced you to plead guilty?
No, sir.
I'll accept the plea as negotiated, Mr. Ellis. Good luck to you, sir.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome. Yes. Credit for time served. Yes.
This is position 1 on the probation calendar, Mr. Johnson.
All right.
Your Honor, this one's a little bit unusual in that about a week to a week and a half ago, I've been in communication with his defense lawyer in the regular trial courtroom. He appeared in front of Jay Morrison in 3F in person. And the Honorable Judge Morrison, I asked him, I said, were the words said about, do you need to read the accusation? So I believe he has actually been arraigned and he's not guilty.
So this is on the probation calendar, Mr.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you said Alexander.
No.
Sorry. I thought we were on number 1, Alexander.
This is number 1 on the probation calendar, Anthony Johnson's. Is that right? Is this Mr. Johnson?
I heard the A sound, Your Honor. This is Mr. Johnson then, and his probation. The state is going to recommend that he be continued on probation and do the class that he was supposed to start with. So it's pretty straightforward.
Okay, well, maybe I can hear that from from Officer Harris.
Okay.
Officer Harris, good morning again. You can go ahead.
Yes, Your Honor. Mr. Johnson was sentenced to probation on January 16, 2019 to 12 months to complete the DV classes. As of today, he did not report to our office, and that's why a warrant was issued by Judge Roth. He has 7 months, 21 days remaining on his case, and probation wants to continue him on probation. My only request is, can he sign up for those DV classes within the first 2 weeks of reporting to our office?
Has he been reporting?
No, Your Honor, he has not.
What's the problem, Mr. McLean or Mr. Johnson? Why has he not been reporting? Why has he not started these classes?
I moved to Florida. My grandma got ill. I think that was in early 2019. And then Corona hit. I honestly forgot I was on probation once I moved.
All right. So I'm going to give you another chance, Mr. Johnson. I mean, you know, no one wants to be, sitting up in jail like this. You know, if I always tell people, I understand you go through things, everybody goes through things, but if you just fall off the map and you don't communicate with anybody, then what are we going to do? We have to put out a warrant for you, and then you're right back in the situation that you started with. Had you let Officer Harris know that you were having some problems, she could have worked with you, and you might not be in this situation. So just don't fall off the map and communicate with people. So I am going to give you one opportunity. You're going to have to enroll in a DV class within the next 2 weeks. If you do not, then Officer Harris is going to be instructed to put out a warrant for you again. And the next time, I'm not going to give you a second opportunity. Okay?
Okay.
All right, so we'll continue you on probation. You have to make sure that you just keep in touch with the probation department and that you get those classes done so you can get this behind you. Okay?
Okay, thank you.
All right. Good luck to you, Mr. Johnson.
And Your Honor, can we make sure that we get updated information from Mr. Johnson as well?
Okay.
I'm going to talk to him right after court. I'm going to go upstairs if necessary to get that information for the JCS.
Okay, no problem. Thank you, Mr. McLean. That concludes my, Your Honor. May I be excused?
Yes, have a good day. Good to see you as always, Officer Harris.
Yes, and emergency contact. Okay. Yeah, you got a camera, I'll let you go now. But you need to go the other.
This is position 13, Mr. Fields.
What's the announcement on Mr. Fields?
I understand this to be a negotiated plea, Your Honor.
Okay. Good morning, Mr. Fields. I'm Judge Eric Morrow. This is a state all-purpose calendar that we're conducting by video. Do you agree to have your case heard by video?
Good morning. Good morning, Your Honor.
Okay. Can you raise your right hand for me, Mr. Fields? Do you swear affirm the testimony you're about to give before this court be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, you can put your hand down. Thank you, sir. Ms. Lewis?
Yes, Your Honor. For this case, we are recommending 12 months to serve 34 days, credit for time served 17 days with the balance probated. Stay away from 1579 Orlando Street. No further contact, with Mika Hargrove, and that's spelled M-I-C-A. We're also recommending a family violence intervention program and no alcohol, drugs, or weapons.
Okay, Mr. McLean?
Your Honor, I'm going to ask the court to accept the negotiated plea. He does plan to move to North Carolina to be with family, and I'm sure that arrangements can be made for him to do his probation from there. But they give FVIP everywhere, and he's going to have to find an FVIP in North Carolina that comports with our requirements. And I don't think that's going to be hard to do. It will be expensive, of course. I mean, no more expensive than in Georgia, but I do ask the court to waive probation fees so that he can afford to pay for those classes.
Okay. Mr. Fields, it's my understanding that in case 23 CR 000005Y that you wish to plead guilty to battery, family violence, and simple battery, family violence. Is that correct?
Heard that, yes, Your Honor.
Are you under the influence of any drugs or alcohol this morning?
No, Your Honor.
You've been represented by counsel. Are you satisfied with his representation?
I am.
You understand that you have a right to a trial by jury on these charges, and that by pleading guilty to them, you're giving up your right to a trial by jury?
I do.
Has anyone forced or coerced you to plead guilty?
Negative.
I will accept the plea as negotiated, Mr. Fields. I'm gonna waive the probation fees for you while you're on probation and help you get and stay on your feet, but you're gonna have to be on probation for the entire 12 months. As I advised the last young man, especially since you plan on leaving the state, make sure that you stay in touch with probation and just don't fall off the map and complete the courses as you have told the court you're gonna do. I would hate to for a warrant to be put out for your arrest and for you to be back in the same position that you're currently in. Do we have his correct contact information, Mr. McLean?
We do. We have current good contact.
Okay. Anything further on Mr. Fields?
Nothing.
Okay, good luck to you, Mr. Fields.
Heard that. Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome.
Good to meet you. Good to meet you.
Position 31, Mr. Ware.
And this is going to be a negotiated plea.
Yes, Your Honor.
And who's representing Mr. Ware?
That'll be me, Judge.
Okay. Yes, good morning, Mr. Ware. I'm Judge Eric Morrow. This is the state all-purpose calendar that we're conducting by video. Do you agree to have your case heard by video?
Yes.
Thank you. Can you raise your right hand for me? Do you swear affirm the testimony you're about to give before this court be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Okay, you can put your hand down. Thank you, sir. Mr. Walker?
The state's recommendation is 12 months to serve, 32 days, credit for time served, 16 days, balance probated with the conditions of an FBIP course, stay away from 1991 DeLoe Drive, located here in Atlanta, Georgia, and no further contact with the victim, whose name is Maya Abrams.
Any objection to non-reporting when he completes the terms?
No objection, Your Honor.
All right. Mr. Howard?
Judge, yes, we have to accept the plea as negotiated. The only additional consideration we'd ask is that there he be given third-party transfer of the children. They do share children, and he'd like to remain active in his child's life. So we just ask that he be allowed to do that. And otherwise, we'd ask that his probation fees be waived. It looks like he'll be here a little bit longer on some other matters. So we'd ask for the probation fees to be waived.
No objection to third-party transfer, Mr. Walker?
None, Your Honor.
Okay. Mr. Ware, it's my understanding that in case 23 CR 000029A, you wish to plead guilty to criminal trespass, simple battery, and simple battery family violence. Is that correct?
Yes.
Are you under the influence of any drugs or alcohol this morning?
No.
You've been represented by counsel. Are you satisfied with his representation?
Yes.
You understand that you have a right to a trial by jury on these charges, and that by pleading guilty to them, you're giving up your right to a trial by jury?
Yes.
Has anyone forced or coerced you to plead guilty?
No.
I'll accept the plea as negotiated, Mr. Ware. I am going to waive the probation fees for you while you're on probation to help you get and stay on your feet. And when you complete the terms of the probation, it'll go to a non-reporting status, okay?
All right.
All right, good luck to you, Mr. Ware. All right.
Position 1, Mr. Alexander.
It's my understanding that he's already been arraigned and it's gonna go to jail jury, is that right?
That's correct, Your Honor. It just sounded to me 99% like he had been arraigned because I heard all the magic words.
All right, Mr. Alexander, you'll get notification of your next hearing date. Good luck.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Position 6, Chandler.
And Mr. Candler is in the same position as a previous person. He is represented by Ms. McLeod. Ms. McLeod is apparently on trial today. As such, the case is going to be reset until Thursday, January 19th. Mr. Chandler, I'll have to see you back on Thursday, sir.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
This is position 8 through 11, Mr. Echols.
Okay, is Mr. Murphy going to be with us this morning? Do we know?
Your Honor, I talked to Mr. Murphy on the phone just to make sure that he was aware there were two cases, and he was. And he said something to me about somebody was going to be on Zoom to take care of it. He was going to be in another courtroom during part of our session.
Okay,
I don't see anybody here though,
right.
but he is in court.
Okay, we're gonna have to come back. Mr. Echo, we'll have to come back to you to see if we can find if Mr. Murphy is going to appear this morning or not. Let's see. Why don't we do this? This is a 12 months to serve matter. Why don't we just go ahead right now, since Mr. Murphy's not here and no one is here to represent him. I am also going to reset this until Thursday, the 1/19 calendar. I'll see you back on Thursday, Mr. Echols.
Yes, sir.
Going back to position 16 and 17, Mr. Howard.
Judge, Mr. Howard is decided to accept the state's offer of resolution on position 16. And I believe that 17 will be null if he does that.
Okay. Mr. Howard, you are still under oath in this matter, and this is your case, Ms. Lewis?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, you can proceed.
The state's recommendation is 12 months to serve 15 days, credit for time served 9 days with the balance probated, no alcohol, drugs, or weapons, 6 weeks of anger management. We also recommend a stay away for 3465 Leisure Lane and no further contact with Michelle Todd. Her name is spelled Michell, no E at the end.
Mr. Howard?
Judge, we'd ask that you accept that plea as negotiated. We would ask that probation be allowed to terminate or go non-reporting upon completion of all the requirements and conditions. And given that he lost his job, we'd ask that his probation fee be waived as well.
Any objection to termination, Ms. Lewis?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Howard, it's my understanding that in case 22 CR 004235E, you wish to plead guilty to battery, is that correct?
Yes, that's what you want to do. Yes.
Yes?
Yes, sir.
Okay, are you under the influence of any drugs or alcohol this morning?
Yes, sir.
You've been represented by counsel. Are you satisfied with his representation?
Absolutely satisfied.
You understand that you have a right to a trial by jury on this charge, and that by pleading guilty to it, you're giving up your right to a trial by jury?
Yes, sir.
Has anyone forced you to plead guilty?
Okay.
I'll accept the plea as negotiated. Mr. Howard, I'm going to waive your fees while you're on probation and help you get and stay on your feet. And when you complete the terms, the probation will terminate, okay?
Yes, sir. Thank you, Mr. Morrow.
Right.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Good luck to you,
Yes,
Mr.
sir.
Howard.
Thank you. Yes, sir. Thank you, Mr. Morrow.
And we're completed here in courtroom 2, Judge.
What about position 14, Mr. Godfrey?
That's Ms. Godfrey.
Oh, that's Ms. Godfrey? Okay. And that's going to be at the South Annex?
Yes, Judge.
Okay. All right, I'll see you this afternoon. Thank you. We appreciate it.
Later. You're welcome.
And I got a note that the South Annex was, let's see. Apparently the power is out.
Judge, I'm gonna give them a call and see if they're available.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Excuse me, good morning. Hey, Ms. Howard.
Hey, son, how you doing?
I'm okay.
Good morning.
Hey, Judge Morrow, I'm sorry to announce it, but ACDC had a drill this morning that started at 10, and it's supposed to last between 45 minutes to an hour. So we're gonna have to reset these females until Thursday calendar. I just called to verify, and the drill is just now starting.
Okay, and these are, let me see what positions they are. Positions number 14.
No, yeah, we believe.
2, 3, and 14, Judge.
2, 3, and 14, but 3 is a mental illness situation we've got to see about. So really, we're talking about for today, just 2 and 14.
Okay, we'll reset them for Thursday, 1/19.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. All right, and let's see, I think that completes everyone. So when Ms. Lewis is ready, we'll go over the calendars.
This one, can you send me like a regular calendar with all the officers? So that it's a lot easier for me to transmit that. You know, the regular calendar with all the positions in the office like we normally get. Cause I know we send them a little different on the weekend. We send them from, can you send me the regular way? Do you
Are you
have?
talking about for Thursday?
No, the ones that were for today. You know, they were sending different little, you know how we. how
The
you send-
formatting was a little bit different, but
And you can't really, it's not a Word document, so we can't like do what we need to do to just transmit it to our people. Do you
I
have
think it was a Word document, but let me see if I can send it again and,
Okay,
okay.
in the normal way you get it.
Is this Officer Norris?
No, you can send it to me.
Oh,
Yeah, just send it to me so I can.
who am I speaking with?
Oh, you can't.
Oh,
Here.
here, oh, wait a minute, there you are.
It's there.
For some reason, how do you click on this to get you? Oh, here it is, start video.
Yeah, it's just me.
Oh, it's Mr. Howard. I thought I was talking to the deputy. I hadn't.
No, it was me.
Okay, let me see if I can resend it.
You got announcement for the add-on calendar, number 1,
I think that was a mental health reset.
Yeah,
The
that
add-on.
was already had an eval request that he should be on conference, so we put him on next Thursday's 26th competency calendar.
Oh, Mr. Howard, did you check your email this morning?
I know.
That's where the calendar is.
Okay, you said the full one this morning. Okay.
Yes, okay, that's the disconnect. Yes, that's,
You got us taken care of. All right.
All right, cool.
all right, thank you.
All right, thanks.
We're gonna have to do something about this parking lot with people taking our public defender spaces in the rain.
So, we're done. Are we gonna wait a while? This is Ms. Thomas.
I'm getting ready to go over the calendar, Ms. Thomas, if you're willing to stay with us.
They just calling me to another courtroom. That's why I'm asking.
Oh, okay, I'm getting ready to the calendar right now.
Okay.
All right.
Ms. Thomas has places to go and people to see.
Right.
All right. Position number 1 on the add-on number 1 is reset for the competency calendar for January 26th. Position number 1 on the regular calendar is reset for jail jury further notice. Position number 2 is reset for SAP add-on for Thursday, the 19th. Position number 3 is reset for the competency calendar for January 26th.
And actually, so go ahead and just put it on for Thursday as well, Ms. Lewis. Let's
What,
do-
number 3?
Yeah.
So you want it on the competency calendar and the SAP add-on?
No, just on the regular calendar for Thursday.
Okay, so take it off the competency calendar.
Yeah.
Okay, so number 3 is gonna be reset to the add-on calendar for Thursday, SAP. Same announcement for 4, we set for the SAP add-on calendar for January 19th. Number 5 was a plea. Number 6, we set for the SAP add-on for January 19th. Position number 7, same announcement, SAP 119, 8, 119, 9, 119, 10, 119, and 11, 119. Position 12 was a plea. Position 13 was a plea. Position 14 is reset for the SAP 119. Position 15 was a plea. 16 was a plea. 17, that's gonna be a non-profit, right?
Right, Ms. Wolf?
I'm gonna receive
Is
non-profit
that for Mr. Sims or who?
for position 17 hour.
That's correct.
Okay. Ms. Lewis, make sure you send them over to me. I think I put my email in the chat.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Position 18 and 19 was released. Position 20 was a non-negotiated plea. 21 is a non-cross. 22 was a plea. 23, defendant was arraigned, cases set further notice, and he has a modified of his bond. So the SOB for the jail was $1,000, right, Judge?
Yeah,
On each charge.
I believe so, yes.
Oh, and Ms. Lewis, that's where I was sort of confused. I thought you were just saying he needed, on 24, we needed to do the $1,000 SOB. But
Oh, well, yeah, I'm sorry. Repeat that again. Number 23 was arraigned, cases reset for the notice. He's in jail on the FTA, which is 24, which I would need an amended bond order for $1,000 for the FTA only. That's correct.
Okay.
Thank you. Position 25,
He's released.
that's Mr. Scott.
It's released.
He was released, okay. Position 26 was a plea, that's Barry Sims. Position 27 and 28 was a plea. Position 29, the defendant was released. 30, defendant was released, and 31 was a plea.
Yep.
How long gonna get my paperwork?
And I can send it in a few, now pretty much. I'm gonna send it in a few minutes. Mike's,
I'll start scribbling as soon as I got a couple of them. But I'll go downtown and send it down.
you can do it from there.
Okay. All right.
Okay, well, as long as I get them in a timely manner, I appreciate it, y'all.
Yeah, I'll send it, I'll scan these over.
Oh, Your Honor,
Yes,
you remember we had 3 people the other day I was gonna do mental health on. I found something, but I do need to get in the actual DBHH or DBH form following up on that. But there was one of those 3 fellows that I think I need to ask, do I need to be standby counsel? He was the one who he didn't say the word sovereign citizen, but he said, I'm a man of the land. He stood in the doorway and he said, that public defender office is not my counsel. I'm pro se. Should I be standby?
he was the one that I also asked for a mental health evaluation on, is that right?
Right, and I've got it going, but should I put myself down as his counsel? I haven't filed it yet, but I was thinking, should I just be standby counsel instead of trying to assert myself in the way that he?
Oh, yeah, that's fine. That's fine with the court. I just needed to have someone assist the court with a mental health evaluation. I didn't expect that you were going to be his counsel.
He was just so adamant. He was so adamant that, we just.
Right, I remember.
Okay.
Okay, thank you. We appreciate it. Anything further this morning?
Nothing, Your Honor.
All right, y'all have a good day. We'll see you next time.
All right, thank you.
Here, Your Honor.
Y'all be safe.
Have a good one.
All right.
See you soon.
You too. Thank you, Judge.
Where is it?